Hello my little artists, welcome back. I hope you guys liked my videos from last week. I hope they weren't too hard for you, but I also hope that you really had fun and enjoyed them and were able to make the craft, and I hope it wasn't too hard, but I hope you still enjoyed it, even if it was a little hard. But it's also a good thing if it's a little hard, so that way you guys can learn and challenge yourselves. So I apologize if it is hard. I'll try to simplify some things here and there. Again, I'm trying to use materials that I think you may have at home. Let me know if I need to simplify things. Just shoot the Academy an email like, hey, the art classes are a little hard and my kiddos are having a hard time following them, so just give me an email and I'll try to simplify some things for you. So welcome back. I hope you guys are staying clean, staying safe, staying healthy. My little kiddos and their families, or whoever is watching, I hope you guys are doing well. So today I thought, so I know not everybody celebrates Easter, but this is also a fun spring craft. I thought we would do a bunny, because bunnies are so cute and it's springtime and little birdies are chirping, little bunnies are being born. So I thought we would do some bunny crafts today for you guys. So I have this one, and then I am gonna do a chalk one. So if you have some sidewalk chalk, great. I apologize if you don't have it. Like I said, I'm just trying to use materials that I think you have. I don't know. And then this one is just a paper plate and some cotton balls and maybe some construction paper and glue. That's it. And maybe some markers for adding some pink in there. But that's all this is. So I'm just trying to use materials that I think you have at home. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna angle my camera down a little bit for you. Hope you guys are having fun during this time, doing some schoolwork, maybe exploring the outdoors. So I hope you guys are having a fun time, even though you may be stuck inside or outside or whatever you're doing. I hope you guys are having a good time. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna start with this one first. So like I said, this is just using a paper plate. I did some of my details with the extra pieces that I had from the paper plate, and then I just glued on some cotton balls. I saw this one online, and what you can also do is, instead of adding a face to the bunny, I saw some where the face of the bunny was a picture of your child. So you guys, little kiddos, if you have a little picture, maybe go ahead and add it inside. So you would add the cotton balls around the face, and then you would put your child's face on the inside. So this would be opened up a little bit, but for the sake, I don't have a picture, you could just use some paper to make some eyeballs. So that's something else you could do. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to start it off. Now, if you guys have a computer and a printer at home, what you could do is look up bunny silhouettes. See, this is just a silhouette of a bunny, the outside of it. There's no inside of it. And you could just print one out and cut it out. I just made my own. So for the sake of this project, I'm just gonna show your little kiddos how they could possibly draw it too. So you don't have a printer, or your cutting and drawing skills are not, that great. That's okay. I'll teach you guys how to draw one. So what you're gonna need is just a paper plate. If you want something a little sturdier, you could also do it on a cereal box. That's something else that you could do. You could use an old cereal box and use the back or the front of it, the shiny part, to add the cotton balls to. But for the sake of this project, I'm just using paper plates. Paper plates, there are so many different things that you can make out of them. I use paper plates constantly, especially with my little ones, because they are a super cheap material and easily accessible, and you could buy them at the store. So that's why I use paper plates a lot, and sometimes I know you guys have paper plates at home, so that's great. If you do, if you don't, I apologize. Like I said, you can maybe use an old cereal box that you could recycle. So let's go ahead. So I'm just gonna draw a circle. I'm gonna draw it with a black marker so that way you guys can see it. But little kiddos, I would use a pencil. So that way if you make a mistake, you could always erase. All right? So I'm just gonna use this. And try your best to try to fit it on the paper plate. That's why I made a paper one first and then am putting it on my paper plate, but I'm gonna show you how you could do it just freehand. So I'm just gonna draw a circle or oval, turning out more ovally. And then I'm gonna do another oval down here. So let me see if I could zoom in for you. Here we go. So I'm gonna do another oval down here. So I'm gonna start right here, right in the middle, kind of where the neck would be. And then I'm gonna go down, round, and I'm gonna go back up to the middle. Kind of like that. And then for my last part, we're gonna do the ears. So this is the head, this is the body, and so now we're gonna do the ears. So the ears are kind of like two very long ovals. So see if you could try to do that. So I'm gonna start on the right, do the right one first, just like that. Now we're gonna go to the left one. Just like that. Mine are a little crooked, but that's okay. Yours is gonna be different as well. So before we start cutting, I'm gonna have you draw these little things right away. So that way, while you're cutting, you could cut everything out, and then when you get to the gluing part, you could just glue everything. So for the middle part of the ears, go ahead onto the sides of the paper plate. You're gonna do like a curved line and a curved line up. And that will be for the right ear. So that's the inside of the ear, the pink part. So this right here, this pink part, I just drew it right here. And that's to go on top of the cotton balls. So now we're gonna go on to the left side, and we're gonna do the left one, this one. There we go. Now if you have extra space here and there, go ahead and I want you to draw two little feet like this. And all you're doing is just drawing ovals. So pick an empty spot, it could be anywhere, and go ahead and draw an oval. So that's the right foot. Now we're gonna go on the left side and we're gonna do the left foot. There you go. And then if you wanna go ahead and do eyes right away, pick another empty spot and make two eyes. 1, 2, and go ahead and color those in. Or make a, not color them in, but make like a little eyeball inside of it. So there's your eyes. And then next, if you find another space, you can make the nose and mouth. So all I did was an upside down triangle, and then I did two J's. I did a backwards J and a regular J. Like the letter J. Ooh, Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Alright, I covered my nose. And I'll wash my hands as soon as or my arm, I guess, later. Because I sneezed in my arm. Sorry about that. So here's the nose. And then we'll color that in a little later, like we will for the ears and the feet. So go ahead and cut everything out using some scissors. If you don't feel comfortable with your little kiddo cutting, you can do it yourself, or you can have them practice cutting. Practice cutting is a good skill to practice. Remember, if you are cutting, kiddos, keep your hand somewhere away from, a little bit away from the scissors. And then as you're cutting, you're turning the paper or whatever you're cutting while you're cutting. So, and we're doing it nice and slow. No need to be fast. And try not to cut your bunny apart, okay? Because this is the main thing that we want. We want this main centerpiece. So I'm on the second ear now. Remember, I'm turning my paper or whatever you are cutting while you're cutting. So turn as you are cutting. And if you can't get the hang of the scissors right now, that's okay. You're practicing. That's okay. Scissors are a little tricky, but once you get it, once you learn how, scissors are going to be very easy for you, I promise. You just got to practice. But do not practice on anything other than paper. Alright, I'm going to cut my feet. And parents, if you want to pre-cut all of this for them, you can. It just takes a little bit of time. And like I said, I just used a black marker to show you guys how to draw it, or you kiddos how to draw it. But like I said, try to use pencil. Pencil is a lot easier, and you could erase if you don't like the shape that you drew, or if you mess up. We're also practicing our shapes here. So here's the pink part. And careful if you're cutting thin things, because you don't want to cut your finger accidentally. Here, I'm just gonna cut that. Now this one's a little tricky because that's very small, so parents or whoever's watching you, if you could help out with this one, I would, because this one's a little trickier. Or if you want to just cut a circle around it, you can. It could be kind of like part of their nose, or like their snout, part of their snout, or I don't know what it's called. That little mouth and nose part of an animal's face. Right, and then my last part is the eyes. Okay, so before we start gluing all our pieces together, I want you to take the pink parts in a pink marker. So here's my pink marker, and I want you to color the nose in. There we go. Color the ear parts in. If you don't like that black, you could always turn it over and color that whole thing pink if you don't like that black outline, because I don't like it, but if you like it, go ahead, just color inside. But I'm gonna flip it over and color on the back. There we go. Same thing with the feet. If you don't like that harsh color, go ahead and turn it over. Now I got some, I don't think you guys could see it, but I got some like marks on my bunny feet, so make sure you're working on a clean surface. And we're gonna do one big circle in the middle, and then we're gonna go one little circle on the left, one little circle in the middle, and one on the right. I feel like rabbits have 3 toes, but I could be wrong. I think that's how bunny feet are, but if you guys know it differently, go ahead and do it differently. I'm just doing 3. So again, I'm gonna do it on this one now. On my right foot. Make an oval. Color it in. Then make 3 more little ovals. 1, 2, 3, and then color those in. Just like that. So now we're gonna start gluing. So put your other pieces to the side. And you guys could use a glue bottle. I like using, especially with the little kiddos, I like using one of these. It's just a glue container, but you could also use yogurt containers to hold the glue. I think those are the best. Or you could use a regular lid to like the top of a container. You could use a bunch of lids for like a peanut container or some other containers that you may have lying around the house that you don't use as a place to put glue or paint on. I like using these for glue, but you know, that's more money you have to spend, which I don't want you guys to do. And just use a paintbrush, an old paintbrush, an old very cheap paintbrush to paint it on. I don't use my nice paintbrushes for glue because they just get it all icky, and then you have to wash those out because then they get really icky. So just try to use what you have, or if you want your child to get a little messy and but some kiddos don't like the feeling of glue, which I understand. It gets sticky and it sticks to you, and then they spend forever just peeling it off their fingers. So I understand that. It also gets them very messy. So say you don't have one of these, I'm just gonna go ahead and use a glue bottle. You could also use a glue stick if you have one. I just like doing things differently. Have them add a couple dots. Do dot dot, not a lot. Just a couple dots. Not a lot, kiddos. Then we're gonna take our magic finger here and we're gonna spread it with our finger. Make sure you have some paper towels or some napkins to wipe your finger with, or go ahead and wash your finger after you're doing this part. So I just added some dots to the body. Now I'm gonna go up to the head. Add a couple more dots. Spread that with your finger. Whoops. Go. Now before everything dries, here I'm going to take my paper towel, wipe my finger. So before that dries, I'm gonna add my cotton balls, and then we'll do the ears next. Or if you wanna glue the whole thing, that's fine. It's just curling right now, so you might wanna add the cotton balls gradually. Try not to have your kiddos pull apart the cotton balls. We want our bunny nice and fluffy. See, I did not pull any of my cotton balls. My bunny is nice and fluffy. So go ahead. Start at the bottom. Kind of like his tail, but we're working on the front part of the bunny, not the back. So just start at the bottom and glue 1. So then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go 2. We're gonna go in a whole circle. Then 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Hope you guys can see that. Here's 6. And here's 7. So I fit 7 all the way around. Depending on how big your bunny is, you might have to add more. But for right now, mine has 7 on it. So go ahead, and I think 2 are gonna fit in the middle. So go ahead and put 1 and then 2. Or close up that middle part, however big it is and however many you need. So in total, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I used 9 cotton balls just for the body. And so now we're gonna go to the head. So again, start at the bottom. Then we're gonna work our way around. So go 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Uh-oh. And if you have space in the middle, go ahead and add a cotton ball. Or if you don't have enough room for a whole one, this is the time where you could rip it in half. And then go ahead and put that right in the middle. So for that one, I used 5, or 4.5, because I ripped that one in half. And it's kind of looks like it's got big chubby cheeks. So I kind of like that. So next, we're gonna do the ears. But I didn't add glue to my ears. So if you're adding glue gradually, meaning a little bit at a time, you're gonna be careful of where the glue touches on your cotton balls. Because if you get glue on your cotton balls, then it's gonna stick to your, you can't get the glue off, and if you try to get the glue off, it will stick to your fingers, and then it's going to be a big sticky mess. So go ahead, add like 3 drops to the ears, or dots. So I did 1, 2, 3. Now do 3 more dots on the other one. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, spread it with your finger. And if you have extra, see how much extra I have? You don't need it. So go ahead, wipe that off in a paper towel or a napkin. Now go ahead, spread the other one. There you go. If one needs a little bit more, go ahead. So there we go. I'm wiping my finger with the extra, and then I'm gonna wipe my table to make sure my project doesn't stick to the table. So for this one, I don't think you're gonna need more than 2 cotton balls for the ears. So go ahead, start at the bottom. You're gonna go 1, and then 2. There you go. That ear's done. Go to the left one now. Here, I'm gonna turn it so that way you can see it. I'm gonna go 1, and 2. There we go. All right. So there you go. You have a fuzzy little bunny right now. And I like using the cotton balls because it does add a lot of texture. You could use pom-pom balls if you have them, but those are a little bit more expensive. Cotton balls are super cheap. You can find them anywhere. And They're nice and fluffy. Some kiddos don't like the texture of cotton balls, so I understand that. If you want to use felt, you could use felt as an alternative. But then again, it's just what your kiddo likes and what you have at home. So next we're gonna add these pieces, okay? So we're gonna start at the bottom, and then we're gonna add our feet, because the feet go on the bottom. And I had them going a little bit on an angle. And these feet are a little smaller. See, those are a little bit bigger and longer, because bunnies do have long feet. So go ahead on the back. So if you need to lie it down on the table, go ahead. Add maybe 2 dots. So 1, 2. Spread that with your finger. There we go. Clean your finger. And then go ahead and on the right side, go ahead and add that little foot. See? Here we go. So now we're gonna work on the left foot. Add 2 little dots of glue. Remember, dot, dot, not a lot. So 2 little dots. Oops. Oops. Spread it with your finger. Wipe your finger off. And then go ahead, take that foot, lift it up, and put it on the left side. There you go. So now you got 2 little feet. So if you want to, you can make little like front paws or like the front feet if you want. That's up to you. That's a personal preference. For this, I'm not gonna do front paws. I'm just gonna do feet, kind of like he's sitting on his bottom. But that's up to you. That's a personal choice. So next, I'm gonna add the mouth. See, I'm working from the bottom up. So I'm starting at the bottom and then I'm working my way up. So I'm gonna start with this part. Add a little glue. Now if you guys don't even want to spread it with your finger, go ahead and try to spread it. You could spread it with the glue tip if you want. So this orange piece, you could just spread it around. Or like I said, a paintbrush works wonders with this, especially with little ones. Then go ahead, we're gonna go on to the head now. And am I gonna put it over here? Am I gonna put it over here? No, I'm gonna put it right there in the middle. There we go. Well, in the middle, but a little bit low, kind of by the neck. Kind of by the neck right here. Here we go. So now, time for the eyes. So this is gonna be the right eye. Or the left eye, whatever. You could work left to right, right to left, whatever you do. So, there's the right eye. Go, add a little bit of glue. And there goes the left eye. So, the right eye is gonna go on the right. The left eye is gonna go on the left. So that side's the right, this side's the left. So there we go, I got my little eyes. If you want to add whiskers, you could use like fishing wire or some pipe cleaners if you had it to make some whiskers, but that's up to you. Man, I keep knocking over my glue. Alright, now time for the pink part. So here's where they're gonna go, right in the center of your ears. Up here. So go ahead, add maybe like 2 or 3 dots of glue. You don't even have to spread it. You could just put dots and glue it if you want to. So there's the right one. Now here's the left one. There we go. Alrighty. And there you go. You have a nice little bunny. And if you want to add, so see these little spaces where you see that black line? If you want to get extra fancy or professional or I don't know, you could also cover those spots. Put some glue right there. But usually kiddos don't matter. But see what I'm talking about? If you get glue on the cotton balls, it will stick. But if you want, you could cover up those little spots with some extra. This is half of my other one for the face. You could take some extra and you could put it in those empty spots. But that's up to you. You don't have to do that. See how my face is kind of like a plus sign right now? You can make it more circular by adding little bits of cotton balls here and there. It's kind of like filling in the blanks a little bit. So if you have some blank spots and if you want to do that, you could do that as well. That's totally up to you. So go ahead, put this one off to the side. You guys did a great job. If you want to, this is just a suggestion, if you want to make a tail off to the side or put it on the back, you're not going to see the back and you kind of want to make it flat. But if you want to get a little bit extra and like a little bit more fancy and make it more bunny-like, put some glue, like a glob of glue. This time you could put a glob, but just be careful, that way you don't get any cotton ball stuck to you. And it doesn't matter which side, it could be the right side or the left side. And just go ahead, press that tail into the side. But that's up to you. If you like that look, fine. If you don't, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to do that. That's just a suggestion. There you go. So go ahead, put this off to the side. Now this next one, all you're gonna need is a black piece of paper. I love doing chalk on black pieces of paper. I don't know if I covered chalk with my little artist, I can't remember. But say it's a rainy day outside and you can't really work with chalk outside, this is a perfect alternative to keep your kiddos occupied, especially on a rainy day. Just get some black paper, or you can make some black paper with some paint if you don't have black paper. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. So there we go. This is a bunny. I'm going to show how to do a chick as well, just to give you guys some other examples. So what I did here is I cut out my own bunny out of some cardboard. This is the same stuff as the stuff that they use for cereal boxes, or you could use a regular piece of cardboard if you have some lying around the house, or a paper plate. Like I said, paper plates are multi-use. You could use them for about anything, not just food. You could use them a lot for crafts. So I just cut myself a bunny. If you want to print a bunny first from the computer, you can, and outline it. Or if you want to freehand it for your kiddo first, or have them draw it and then cut it out and then put it on here, that you could do that too. Whatever keeps your kiddo occupied and whatever they can do, or what you feel comfortable with them doing. So it's all up to you. So go ahead and just lay it on a black piece of paper. So here's my black piece of paper. Here's my bunny. If you want them to draw one out, go for it. It's just a big circle. Or actually this one I used some tape to make my circle, and then I used a bunch of circles to create my template. So what else did I use? I used the outside of the tape as my body. I used the inside of the tape as my head. And then I just did 2 long ovals as my ears. So again, use what you have. Really handy if you don't want to do circles free-handed. Circles are hard. They can come out as ovals if you're not paying attention, or they just take some practice. So if you want to practice circles, go ahead. Or if you don't, go ahead and use something that's circular, that's lying around the house, either roll of tape or a lid. Remember, circles are everywhere. You could use containers, whatever is circular, and you could trace all the way around. So next, using some sidewalk chalk, or if you have some art chalk at home, that's great. But if you don't, sidewalk chalk is beautiful for this. I especially love it because it spreads a little bit easier, I feel like, because it's so powdery. All right. So again, we're gonna start from the bottom and work up and around. All right, so I'm gonna start at the bottom. And what you're, I forgot a step. So if you don't want your kiddo to hold it while they're working, go ahead, take some tape, have them fold it. And you don't need a lot. Also, you don't have to use a piece of cardboard. I just feel like it's a little sturdier. You could use a piece of paper, just make sure this is really taped down. So that way they don't go underneath, because we really want that silhouette, meaning the outline of the bunny. So turn it over, put it in the middle, just like that. Go ahead with your chalk. You're just gonna draw a line at the right on the edge. So it doesn't matter how long or short the line is. It could be long, short, whatever, depending on how many colors you have. I have about 4 colors here, more if you include the art chalk, because they do come in a variety of different colors, like reds, but so does chalk, sidewalk chalk. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Here's a yellow. Go. And then there's my blue. Remember, you're tracing the outside of this. So if I was using just a regular piece of paper, the kiddos would just kind of smush it. So that's why I suggest this, because it's a little sturdier. Go back to your first color, because I went through all my colors. Now, since you have all your colors, I want you to take your wonderful tool of your finger and go ahead and start on the left side, and then we could, or depending on what side, you don't have to start on a certain side, just start on just one side. So let's start on this side. So I'm gonna take my magic finger and I'm just gonna sweep it on my line and out. Sweep out. We're not going to sweep in this way, we're going to sweep out this way. We're going to go start from the top and work our way down. Now if you want to turn your paper, go ahead and turn your paper. There we go. Now, at the bottom, you might want to turn it all the way upside down. And then if you want to turn your paper again, or you don't even have to turn your paper, you could just start with your other hand, your right hand, do the right side. So your child could use their whole hand if they want. They could just use a finger. Finger is more controlled, and you can work section by section. So kiddos, you're just going to move finger by finger, and you're gonna brush out. Just like, whoop. Hold the paper with your other hand. There you go. Now for the ears. And if you got some bits of chalk, I have some bits of chalk up there, go ahead. Blow it. Give it a nice quick blow like you're blowing out a candle on your birthday. And then, now's the big reveal. Go ahead and peel that off. Carefully. Nice and slow. This one kind of got away from me. There we go. Give it another quick blow. Get the extra off. And there you go. There you have it. You got a nice silhouette of a bunny. Now, if you want, you could have your kiddo do a nice little oval for a tail. I just did that because I thought it looked a little fun. But you could just leave it like this. So I'm just going to leave this one like this. But if you want to add a tail, go ahead. Add a little tail. Maybe I'm going to add a tail. So I'm going to draw a little oval. And then just color it in. And then give it another little blow. So that way you get the extra chalk off. Now I recommend using hairspray to just kind of seal it almost. It's kind of like a sealer. A very cheap one, by the way. I feel like a lot of households have hairspray, but if you don't, maybe go get some. Or you could use a matte spray, but that's a little bit more expensive. Or you could use like a glossy spray. Those are awesome too. Just to keep the chalk from, because if you keep adding your finger, it's going to brush everywhere. This is just to keep it from spreading. So go ahead. Don't breathe it in. Give it a quick little spray. And it will dry, and those colors will come back. They kind of got a little wet, but those colors will come back and pop a little bit more. So there you go. So there you go. I got some bunny crafts. And I'm just going to do a really, really quick one of a chick, just to show you how simple these could be. So I'm just using a bowl for this one. And a yellow piece of chalk. Hold down the bowl and have your kiddo, you guys can trace the bowl with the chalk. That's a big chick. Make some little wings. Yep, that's a very big chick. Or you can, so keep the bowl on, you could add wings on the side. And then just go with your finger again. And brush that off to the side. All the way around. And you could have your kiddo color it in, that's fine too. Or you could draw a beak. And then maybe some little eyes. These are kind of like closed eyes. And then here's some feet. It's kind of a fat chick. Or like a little chubby chick. You know, like a baby chicken, little chick. But yeah, there's so many different things you could do with chalk. I just love working with chalk. These are just little cheekbones. It's not a realistic chick, but it's kind of like a goofy one. Very round one. But like I said, you could use stuff to trace if you don't feel comfortable just doing your own shapes. You can always trace, especially if you find something like a bowl or even like a cap to something or a lid like this. You could always use those to trace. Alrighty. Well, I hope you liked those. I feel like they turned out really nice. Alrighty. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed those projects today. I hope you guys had fun making them. I hope you guys were able to do them. And if you did, I would love to see videos. I would love to see anything that you make. It doesn't have to be my crafts. I would love to see any crafts or artworks that you have made at home, kiddos. I love to see what you guys have been working on, been doing at home, even if it's homework. What have you been learning? I would love to hear that. I love hearing what you guys have to say and what things you have in your imagination. I miss you guys so much. So I hope you guys are continuing to have fun, staying safe, staying healthy, washing those hands. So I will see you guys next week for another video, and I hope you guys enjoy that craft as well. So I hope you guys also if you do celebrate Easter, I hope you have a happy Easter. I hope you guys celebrate with your family, but if you don't celebrate it, just have a lovely spring. Please enjoy the lovely weather that's coming. I know it's supposed to get colder next week, but oh well, we are stuck at home still, so you just stay cozy and at home. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.